Can I ask you a question? Did you go into detail on the infrastructure concerns?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was,
like, sir, we can't just go putting panels everywhere because the infrastructure is not strong enough in certain areas to even take and handle that load. You know, 3 out of 5 times that we do an install, we actually have to pay the electric company to put new transformers in place in that neighborhood, right? You know those big old boxes on the side of the poles? Did you guys know that 3 out of 5 installs that we do, we have to pay for new transformers in that area? Anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000, right? One small one here or there could be like $1,500, $2,000. But 3 out of 5 installs, we have to pay for transformers.
Why is that?
Because the load in that neighborhood is not strong enough to take the new electricity that would be pumped into it. When we tell them the infrastructure sucks, we're not lying. You guys got to understand, we're telling them the truth. We're not bullshitting customers. We're looking to replace the infrastructure with a more credible, renewable solution with our source of energy. But the infrastructure that is holding and powering the load of energy that's coming into this community and neighborhood right now is old, decrepit, needs constant maintenance, and needs updating. So another reason the cap exists is not only for overproduction on a per unit basis, because let's face it, it's a regulated power market. Nobody wants, the power company doesn't want to create their own competition. You know what I mean? So there's caps for financial reasons, but there's also caps for operational reasons and logistical reasons on why that infrastructure can't actually handle that load of electricity without being updated. Does that make sense? You've heard of electric cars, right? Well, they want everyone to have one by 2033. So do you think when that happens, the cost of electricity is going to go up or down?
That's a good one.
Okay, so that's why I want to lock you in right now, because although this is your monthly price long term, I'm going to get you savings for the next year and a half, protect you from the price increases drastically over the next 2 years, and then I'm going to get you to this price to protect you permanently from the long-term increases. Does that make sense? Yes, it does make sense. Okay, awesome. So let me show you how the process works, step 1 through 7. So I'm getting you short-term savings, long-term protection. That's what solar is truly about. Don't let anybody else tell you anything else. And build value on why those rates are going to go up. Do you think it's an anomaly that they went up 47% last year? Like, why all of a sudden did it go up 47%? And we just think it's going to stop? So now you think it went up 47% and they're just not going to go up anymore in the future. Even though we're going to use more electricity in the future as a human race than we've ever used before. But it's going to go down, right? Come on, you've got to make them realize that the way that they're thinking just isn't conscious thinking. It's a commodity. It's electricity. This is not something that we have tons of power, and there's so much power that there's... I know we think so, because every time we turn a light on in our house, it just turns on. But ask the people in Europe that have blackouts right now why it's happening. That's because they're using the same infrastructure from 100 years ago. You know how old our infrastructure is? About 100 years old. So do we think that's going to happen when all of this electric is being pushed on us? How much power are electric cars going to require? And that's the big one you need to keep going back to, electric cars. Everyone sees electric cars on the road. Everyone sees tax incentives for electric cars. Everyone sees that manufacturers aren't going to be able to make gasoline cars. You guys know that? 2035 banned. You cannot produce another vehicle that is gasoline after 2035 in Massachusetts. It's going to happen everywhere is the point. California, it's happened. Mass, it's happening. Rhode Island's happening. It's happening everywhere, right? And it's just like solar. It's going to be a slow approach, right? There's going to be some states that are going to take a very aggressive stance on it, like California's happening, right? California is always the first one to the crazy punch, right? That happens. It just happens. Massachusetts is going to happen. The point is that they all understand that that's what's going to happen. And as long as you're using that as a value prop to build up why, again, how many people have sat down with someone and they just don't think the rates are going to keep going up? Thank you. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. I've actually had some people say the rates are going to go down. There's only one thing you say to that customer. Oh, okay. Wow, I'd love to see how you got to that thought process. I'm just trying to learn here. Obviously, this is what I do. Can you show me the 1 year that that's ever happened?
I mean, there are years that it goes down. It's like a stock market. It's going down to go way back up.
Well, it hasn't gone down in a very long time. Yeah, but that's why I keep going on the electric cars, because there's never been a time in history where the whole energy market was about to shift because of a major day-to-day, every human being on this planet almost, well, in this country, uses a vehicle for the most part, right? So there's this world change that is happening in alignment with inflation, with alignment with being needing more electricity than ever before. There's never been an event like that that's happened together. That's why the cost of electricity is not going down anytime soon, right? And if you can make it kind of make sense to them, again, and not argumentative. You don't want to be argumentative in this situation. Be like, hey, you know what? A lot of customers I sit down with think of things the same way, but I don't know if you've thought about this. There's a change happening and a shift happening in our country and globally that we're about to make a switch to electric cars. You see a lot of Teslas out there? That's just the beginning. Did you see Tesla drop their prices recently? Okay, they dropped their prices about $12,000 per unit. Why did they do that? Because there's more tax incentives coming out for electric vehicles right now, and it's a specific price point that has to qualify for those incentives for vehicles. They wanted to be in that price point. What happens when there's more incentives for something? More people do it. That's why I'm here today talking solar with you. That's why people are going to buy more electric cars. That's why we're going to need more power. You ever heard the saying, follow the money? Yeah, well, that's what's happening. So if you follow the money right now, you're going to follow the common sense that something that is a commodity and that is only a small, there's only a percentage of what we need there, it's going to go up in value, right? And again, you're either going to believe that yourself, or I'm not here to make you believe it, but that's how we feel, and that's why we're here servicing your community and trying to make this make sense for you.
I think that was huge what you said. You're using realistic analogies to
Yes.
make this make sense, and that's huge value. So that's.
I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm giving you real life scenarios that should talk you into it. That's the difference between being able to educate or be too aggressive and lose the deal, right? I'm never super aggressive. I'm just very, very informative. Oh, I understand why you look at it that way. Have you ever thought about it this way? And again, it's not my opinion. I'm just giving you what I'm looking at, right? I see more electric cars. I see this. I see that. Make them come to common ground with you, because they'll respect you more and trust you more if you're not pushing your beliefs on them, but you're just really quoting real life scenarios. Yes. So if you paid for a roof today, but you needed another one in 25 years, would you still pay for a roof? Yeah, same thing.
That's good. I like that.
You just gotta normalize people's thoughts, man. They don't think consciously. They make every thought they give you is a bullshit reason they're telling themselves on why this doesn't make sense right now. Every single time. Because you believe whatever you tell yourself, right? Think about it. You didn't have a roof because you knew you were going to have to replace it every 30 years. Would you still want a roof? Yeah, of course, right? So you just have to kind of normalize their thoughts and get them back to common grounds and not try to bullshit them. When they ask questions about 25 years out, be like, listen, I can't tell the future. All I can tell you right now is I can guarantee you net metering for 25 years. Or you can wait 5 years and they can change things here and you'll get partial credits, and then going solar might not make sense for you for a long time, and you're going to be part of these increases for the next 25 years instead of being locked in for net metering for 25 years. I can guarantee you one thing. For the next 25 years, there's going to be one rate you're locked into. Either their going rate that's going to keep going up or the rate that you're locked into through us through net metering. You just got to decide which one.